This week I read The Beast by Hildie McQueen. This is another book for the Knockback Book Bash, where I'm trying to read one book from every author to get a sense of what everybody wrote and hopefully find some new authors that I love. So the book that I read from her was a historical romance set in Scotland. I'm pretty sure it's Scotland. It was definitely historical. There's a lot of yees and a lot of that old-timey language. I know I'm not describing it well. I'm sorry. But it's definitely historical because you have the character of Beatrice who is visiting her sister. So this is the second book in the series. I know I'm all over the place right now. This is the second book in the series. The first book was her sister. I do not have the first book, so I read this book. It's the one I have. So Beatrice is staying with her sister after her sister got married, visiting the family, and she wants to stay. So her brother-in-law and his brothers go back to visit her mother and father, and she writes her mother a note saying like she wants to stay because Duncan is, and I'm sorry if I'm saying these names wrong with the whole Scottish thing, but that's how I read it. But she's saying Duncan is not wooing her. What's the old-timey version of wooing? Whatever that is. Like he wants to pursue marriage with her. And he's just like, because his mom confronts him and he's like, yeah, I would totally be willing to marry this child of yours. But of course, the family wants to actually have Beatrice marry somebody from a different clan to build relations with that clan. So again, we're historical. So we're doing arranged marriages to build power and build relationships with other clans and strongholds and all that stuff. But she doesn't want that. She's like, I don't know who I want to marry, but apparently him. So they come back, and of course, the mom's note was like, no, we need you to marry this other family. So she goes to Duncan's house to apologize for kind of getting him involved in it, and then decides to leave after apologizing. But of course, he follows her. They get caught in the rainstorm, so they have to seek shelter in this abandoned house. And of course, that's not good because back in those times, a man and a woman could not be alone together. Not okay. So they kind of make it through unscathed a little bit. His brother is like, you're going to have to marry her. And they're like, no, nothing happened. That doesn't have to happen. But then they're caught kissing. And the brother's like, no, you have to marry her now because you were caught kissing her. So they do get married. Now, Duncan never wanted to get married. He was held captive for many, many years on a ship and treated horribly. He has a lot of physical and mental scars and a lot of demons that he is fighting with, that he is always worried that he's going to have a moment or a time where he's going to be so in deep that he's like scared that he might hurt her accidentally, and he's so afraid about how they're going to view his body because of all the scars. So he never really wanted to, but he does accept it. And they do end up getting married. And then the mom comes for a visit and is like, your father has requested that you guys go visit. And he's very hesitant because, again, he's a very lone person. He really doesn't build a lot of relationships. He's really worried about being around other people with what's going on. And he ends up not going, which then turns into a thing because he didn't go, and that's kind of like a slight in the eyes of the other clan, like, no, we invited you and you didn't come. Not good. So he ends up ultimately, after working through his demons, he does decide to go and visit and kind of beg for forgiveness for not going and kind of embarrassing his wife because she showed up alone. And then she has to decide whether or not to forgive him. Spoiler, she does. Very sweet. The book was a pretty quick read. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was good. Overall, the getting used to the writing with the, old English, all the ye's and everything, was a little challenging initially, but once I figured it out, it was fine. Read it within a day. Overall, was good. If you like historical romances, give it a check. Check her out. You might enjoy it. There you go. That's my book review. Happy reading.